What's going on, guys? We're going to take a little look at DraftKings. So is right now a time where you guys want to be kind of buying DraftKings? Is DraftKings a buy right now? Ticker symbol is going to be DKNG. So today we were up 2.88% on the day, 35 cents. Not too much action going on with the small caps, as we all know, for quite some time now. One thing that I do kind of want to point out here is this trend line still remains intact. The last time that we really came down here and started to touch this was a price of $9.77. That was back on the 12th of May. So as you can see here, we had a nice little bounce into the 20-day moving average as well as a 9 EMA. We kind of trickled around sideways and tried to consolidate that supply zone. I'm actually going to draw here now because we're going to want to keep this we're going to want to kind of keep this on the top of our minds when we do get there. And this is going to be a little bit of a zone here. I would expect to be a little bit more choppy between that 1588 and 1488 and 1588 zone. I would kind of avoid this area here to kind of see what happens. This could be a potential sell zone here in the supply. And obviously we have a higher resistance level up here at this top wick. That price is going to be 21.25. Nothing has changed to the top side here, but you can see once we came down here below the 9 and the 20 EMA, we did come down, tag this area, had the nice bounce into this potential supply zone, which is going to be a choppy area. When we could not reclaim and push higher, we did drop down again. But if you notice, if we kind of use this trend line here, now again, this is just a trend line that I drew on my own, kind of just marking out the price action here. But the level that we kind of drop correlates to this inclining trend line here. So this decline day that we had on the 16th did come down, tag this area, and we've had a 3-day bounce. So one thing that I do want to point out here, if you're considering buying DraftKings right now, as long as we can hold this trend line and overall hold this most recent touch point here on the 16th, which is going to be a low point of around $10.48, it is just a buy and hold, right? Right now is where you kind of want to be accumulating shares. You kind of want to be building out a position for that run up. Now, I don't think that we're just going to automatically go back to all-time highs. I think this is going to be, kind of a slower moving bear market when we do come out of this. I'm giving everything right now a 12 to 18 month hold. The only reason why I'm doing that is because I'm not going to have too high of expectations. However, if you've been holding and been kind of dollar cost averaging down your position, this is not a time to get frustrated and start selling out of that position as well. You don't want to look back in 12 to 18 months and see the stock trading at $40, $50 when you kind of were dollar cost averaging in between 10 and 15 just because you got a little impatient and frustrated. So the story is going to stand as long as we remain over this trend line and holding the most recent low of $10.48. We are going to just continue to hold the stock. Now, what is the stock price prediction that I have going forward? It all depends on what the price action and what the overall market wants to do in the next 2 to 3, 4 days. If we can get a close over the 20-day moving average, which is sitting at a price of $13.07, if we close over that on a daily candle close, the next price target is going to be $14.88. I'm going to give that anywhere between a 1 week to 3 week hold time to tag that $14.88. Now, if the story stands and if we stay kind of pinned underneath this 20-day moving average, which is the purple line on my screen, you can see here we came up today, tagged this area, sellers stepped in and drove the price down. If we cannot reclaim this area, I would expect to just slowly drift back into this trend line. So the stock price would look something like this, going for the next 1 to 2 weeks, and slowly ride this trend line higher and hopefully give this time enough time for the 20-day moving average to kind of decline. And then once we do reclaim it, then we can be on that upwards trajectory into that $14, $15 price target. Now, things start to change if we do come back down, make another attempt to bounce, get rejected somewhere in here at this price action between the 9 and the 20, and then lose this area. If we do lose this trend line or the price of $10.48, I would estimate that we are going to kind of come back down and tag these most recent lows here of $9.77. Now, what we do when we get into this zone, is this going to be the bottom and kind of create, some type of double bottom form here before we can start to rally to the upside? Or is this going to be just a continued slow drift down, is yet to tell. But obviously, if you're going to add into your positions now, I would just make it a clear and easy stop loss. If you're barely starting to build out a position, and clear and easy stop loss between $10.50 and $10. If you've already have this position and this is a longer term hold for you, 12 months, 24 months, 36, 48 months, so forth and so forth, then you're just going to need to continue to be patient, continue to just dollar cost average in. You're not going to want to add in on every single red day, however, only on significant drops. So if we do lose the 977 on that next new low is where you're going to want to add. Anything else above this area, you're just going to kind of want to hold. Okay, so if you're just starting to build a position, you want to be adding over this trend line. And if you're dollar cost averaging down, you only want to be adding on new lows. Okay, hope that kind of makes sense. If you guys want more information, definitely join the Discord, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys all in the next one.